Hi guys, in this video we will be calculating the mass percent of an element in a compound. So its mean is what is the percentage of any element in a compound or molecule. For example, we have a question. It says calculate the mass percent of sulfur in Al2SO4 3. So this is a compound or molecule. They want to find out how much sulfur is in there. So it's mean like you put sugar, milk, water all together and you are finding out how much water I put it in there. So that's how we are finding the how much sulfur is in there. So before we find the mass percent, we should know what is the total mass of this compound. So remember, it's called the formula mass. In the previous video I already talked about how to calculate the formula mass. I will do it right real quick so that you guys will know. Then we'll find the mass percent of sulfur. So right now we're going to break down the stuff. Al2SO4 3. We're finding the formula mass first, because without the formula mass you cannot do nothing. That's why in the previous video I told you that you should know how to calculate the formula mass, because the formula mass is very important. So what's the first step? The first step is to isolate all the elements. This. So we have three elements: aluminum, sulfur, oxygen. Then see what's the coefficient with it. So aluminum has 2 coefficient, 2 multiplied by aluminum. Sulfur has 3 because it's a bracket. So bracket, when the bracket will open, this 3 will multiply both of these. So 3 multiply, so you're going to put plus sign here and plus sign here, and then 3 multiply with S. So let's write down again. I'm going to make it a little wider. So aluminum, sulfur and oxygen, these are the three elements. We are breaking down the elements. Then write the coefficient. So it has 2 coefficient, 2 multiply. The coefficient will always multiply with it. Then you also put the plus sign with it. Okay, plus sign. And what's the coefficient with the S? S is coefficient 3 because 3 is in the bracket. Not this 4. This 4 is only with the oxygen. S has a coefficient of 3. So 3 multiplied by S. And then now we have 4. Oxygen has 4 and oxygen has 3. So this 3 will multiply. So we will write down 12 multiplied by oxygen. Okay. Now 2 multiply. What's the value of the aluminum? What's the mass of the aluminum? Again, in the periodic table. So if you go in the periodic table, you will see it. I will write down right now. So the value is 26.982. 26.982. You should have a periodic table when you do any chemistry. Plus 3 multiply. What's the value of sulfur? So sulfur is 32.066. 32.066 plus 12 multiply. What's the value of oxygen? Oxygen is 15.999. 15.999. Now it's a simple math. We're going to solve this. I'm going to write down the values in a minute. So I wrote down, I multiply everything. So 2 multiplied by 26.982, we got 53.964 plus sign came like that. Then 3 multiplied by 32, we got 96.198 plus like that. And then we multiply 12 multiplied with the 15.99 and we got 191.998. Now when we add everything, all these things, we will get 342.15 gram. So this is the total formula mass of this compound. Now we need to find the mass percent of sulfur only. What's the sulfur? How much sulfur is in there? So in order to find the sulfur, what we will do, we'll do sulfur, mass of sulfur divided by 342, like formula mass, 42.15 multiplied by 100, because we are finding the percentage. If we are coming out the percentage, we are dividing by 100. If we're going into the percentage, we are multiplying with the 100. So what's the mass of sulfur? Again, it's in the periodic table. So mass of sulfur is 32.066. So 32.066 divided by 342.15 multiplied by 100. When you do all this calculation, you will get 9.372. So 9.372, and you will put this percent sign must. This means it's a percent, mass percent. So that's how you calculate the mass percent of any element in a compound or molecule. I will do a little recap. It's a very easy, very basic thing. So we need to calculate the mass percent of sulfur in this compound. So we have this compound. We need to find how much is total of this compound is. What's the formula? How much mass of aluminum, sulfur, oxygen, and everything combined together. So we find a formula mass of this all compound. So in order to find the formula mass, even the formula mass is not the topic was the mass percent. I still did the formula mass. In my previous video, I already showed how to find the formula mass of a compound. So for finding the formula mass, you're going to break the compound aluminum, sulfur, oxygen. You have 3 elements, you break it down, then write down the coefficients. 2 multiplied by aluminum because it has 2, sulfur has 3, and oxygen has 3 and 4, which is multiplying together, so we write 12, and we're going to add all these things. So we have plus sign here, but before we add this thing, we're going to multiply first, because the multiplication is always come first. That's the rule of mathematics. So multiplication, division, minus and plus, you can do anything. So when we multiply this aluminum, we got 53.964. When we multiply, so before we multiply, we need to write down the values from the periodic table. You wrote aluminum is 26, sulfur is 32, oxygen is 15.99. Now you are multiplying 2 into 26.982, you got 53. 3 into 32.06, you got 96.198. You multiply 12.15 you get 191.988. When you add all these things, you got 342.15. This is the formula mass for all the compound. This is the value for the all compound, but you're looking for this value only for sulfur in it. So what's the value for the sulfur was 32. So what are we doing? We're getting 32 divided by total mass multiplied by 100. So mass of the element divided, so the formula gonna be mass of element divided by total mass of compound multiplied by 100. So that's how we did. So we have mass of element was sulfur. So 32.066 divided by total mass of a compound. Total mass was this 342.15 multiplied by 100. When we did this, we got 9.372. Don't forget to put the percent sign, because the percent sign will come because we multiply with the 100. That's how you find the mass percent of any element in a compound. I hope you like this video, and I hope this video is helpful with you. Please like, subscribe and share, and the more videos will come in this chemistry. Thank you.